So I usually start out the day by getting up maybe around 9 or 10. I'd make breakfast, so maybe it'd be eggs or a breakfast burrito, or sometimes it would be something like a granola bar because I'm not a morning person and I usually don't get up. And then I go to class for usually 10:30 to 12:30. And then after that, I'd grab lunch, maybe from a food cart or at a dining hall, and then head to practice. So practice would be from 2:30 to 5:30, and I'd maybe do a bit of rehab for my back injury beforehand. After practice, we'll watch a bit of film on the team that we're gonna play, and then usually we'd shower, go to dinner with the team, and hit the library after that. And then I'd go to bed and it all really much repeat itself. Hi, my name is Claire Feely and I am a senior history major and D1 athlete at Yale University. This was like my practice jersey for volleyball in high school, and like the senior skip day shirt that we had made and stuff like that, and like pictures of my cats. It's like a nice little reminder of home. So these are the rings that we got from our championships freshman and sophomore year. So this was the one from freshman year, which was a bit big. And then this is my favorite one. I'd say my journey to Yale was largely based on volleyball. So I really wanted to play volleyball in college, but I also wanted volleyball to make sure that I got into a really good school. So I actually gave up a scholarship to come to Yale.
The chop shot over the block.
The biggest part for me is Yale lets you be a student and an athlete, where I felt like at other full-time D1 universities, I would be more of only an athlete rather than just a student. So that was pretty important to me. It gave me a chance to get involved with other clubs, to major in what I wanted, and also be a bit more involved in other student activities in the spring when I'm out of season. I really wanted to go to a great school, and I think when I came and visited here my junior year at my unofficial visit, I loved it. It was completely different than everything I've seen at home, and with all the Gothic architecture and just being in the Northeast and seeing fall color leaves. So this is Old Campus, so this is where all the freshmen live. So unless you're in TD or Silliman, which are the two larger colleges, you're gonna live here your freshman year. So I lived in that far corner, kind of reddish brick building called Farnham. And so you're still gonna live with all of the freshmen in your residential college. So each building is for each individual residential college. It's a really fun place to spend your first year because you're surrounded by all the other fellow freshmen, and great kind of place to meet a lot of people in the beginning of your time at Yale and make some great friends here too. So we're in front of Sterling Memorial Library, and this is supposedly like one of the biggest libraries in the country. I think it's second to the amount of books that the Library of Congress has. I think that's an ROTC demonstration happening. So if you're going to join the Army afterwards, but they help pay your way through school. So sometimes they do practices or demonstrations like this. Societies, which sometimes people know them as secret societies, or here we just call them senior societies. They're a pretty unique component of life at Yale. I'd say a little over half of the senior student body gets involved in them. It's usually a group of about 16 people, typically 8 guys, 8 girls, but sometimes a couple societies are all guys or all girls. So I guess you could kind of compare it to Princeton's Eatings Club or Harvard's Finals Club. So this is my residential college, JE. It's also called Jonathan Edwards, but we just call it JE for short. So this is where I lived my sophomore and junior year, and I ate most of my meals here and studied a lot here too. This is the basement of JE. So the basement is kind of like a labyrinth that goes around, and usually you can access any part of JE by going up through the basement. So if you're cold in the winter and don't want to put on shoes or something, you can just walk through the basement. This is the student art gallery. So they post student art. I usually come down here late at night on like the weekdays because they have like a student cafe open where they make more like late night food, and it's really good when you need a break from the library. And they have like pool tables down there. They have a gym. There's a printing studio for if you're interested in like a printing press, and they try to mix it up and keep a lot of cool things in the basements of the colleges. I chose to be a history major mainly because it was my favorite subject in high school. Yale is a really good history department, and they recently changed it, so you can take two different tracks. You can either do a global focus, or what you could do is pick a specialized track. So I picked two different specialized tracks. I'm a European and a cultural history specialized major. I love the history major. I think you can study a wide variety of things within it. I've taken classes on Roman history, or Africa encounters with colonialism, or France since 1871, and tons of different subjects like that. This is the courtyard of JE. We hang out here a lot in the spring when they plant the tulips. Sometimes when I'm calling my parents to just catch them up on the week, I'll like come out here and just hang out on the swing and call them, or like a nice way to relax after studying before dinner. So Maury's is more of a restaurant that a lot of students will like to go to. It's not like an every night kind of thing, but Maury's is a place more of like Yale tradition. So it's this little white house on York Street that's actually a restaurant and a bar. It's full of Yale tradition. You have crew oars just hanging from the roof. You have pictures of championship teams and players all over the walls, framed team pictures, or like action shots. So it's a really fun like bar place that students will go every once in a while. I wouldn't say it's like the weekend spot, but everyone goes to Maury's every like couple of months. So I just got a hockey ticket for this past weekend. We have like two big hockey games, and they're tons of fun. So got 2 tickets. So this is the outside of Payne Whitney, so this is where all the magic happens, and yeah, this is pretty much where I spend my entire fall semester. This is the locker room. This is where we get ready before practices and lifts. Our training regimen would probably be, we lift 3 times a week in season, and we also have practice every day for about 3 hours. And then sometimes we're traveling on the weekends for games. We have games every Friday and Saturday. Yeah, so these are like our different pillars of volleyball culture that we established a while ago. So we always try to put up like stickers of this and reminders of this throughout the locker room. And then there's just the fridge that we use. We got plenty of muscle milks for getting swole.
And Yale takes it in 5.
Huge win for the Bulldogs. Massive Ivy League implications and spoiling Princeton's perfect Ivy League season.
I don't know how to describe this team in a kosher... Charismatic, yeah. I'd say we're quite charismatic. People like to have a lot of fun, they're really energetic, can be very, very loud sometimes.
We're a really tight-knit group of girls. Right now we had like 16 on our team, and we spend a lot of time together. So we're like each other's best friends. We hang out on and off the court, and it's a really great group of people to be involved with and have to like have your back or just hang out and support each other.
When I came in, we had already won 3 Ivy League championships consecutively, and then my freshman and sophomore year we also had 2 additional championships. So these past couple of years we've gotten second, but I think next year is going to be a great chance for the rising seniors to win another ring.
Definitely makes you nostalgic to think about all the good times that you've had playing volleyball, especially at Yale. So it's also exciting to see what they're going to do, what we've taught them, and how they're going to bring our lessons into the future.
It's a group of girls that can always come to each other when they need something, and even though we're really competitive, we know that we can always rely on each other. And I'd say that's been one of my biggest parts of Yale, and probably one of the reasons why I've loved my experience at Yale so much. I think Yale kind of gives you the opportunity to do whatever you want. There's tons of different extracurricular groups. If you're really interested in singing, they have a huge a cappella group life here. There's Greek life, there's sports, intramural sports. There's different kind of academic societies or clubs promoting business or other things like that. So I think you can really make the experience whatever you want with it when you come here.